The festive season is fast approaching, but things are not looking too bright in Durban. The city receives thousands of visitors during the December period as tourists take advantage of the beautiful weather and warm beaches. Following the devastating April floods, is the city ready to host the thousands it usually attracts every year? Well, today the Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs Department commemorated its 100 days in office. The department hosted networking sessions in a bid to rebuild the local economy following the floods. eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli was there and joins us now for an update. And Lethiwe, just for clarity, when we say 100 days in office, we are talking about the MEC, are we not? Siboniso Duma. And I didn't even realize that it's been 100 days. What came out of today's session?
Well, it has been 100 days for him in office. He took office last year, and one of the major promises that he made was that he's going to make this province an investment hub, basically. But that has been very hard to do over the past year because of the many issues that have arisen in KZN, including the floods that took place in April. You'd remember that during that time, a lot of infrastructure was damaged in the province, including roads to Lethiwe. So the MEC has had quite a time trying to convince investors to invest in the province, and also he's been dealing with construction mafias as well as the beaches, which are the draw card for visitors in the province, being closed since August. We've seen the beaches being open and closed over the past few months, and the explanation for that is the sewage problem that we have, and that sewage problem came from the floods back in April. So we've been dealing with quite a lot of issues in the province, but government keeps promising that the city is open for business, the province is open for business, and they are working on fixing all these issues so that tourists come into the province and also they attract that much needed investment. But today, in today's session, we saw the MEC and government just interacting with industry leaders as to how exactly government plans on attracting these investments and also how they plan on keeping them in the province. We spoke to the MEC a bit earlier on about the tourism sector per se, because that has been hard hit since 2020. Since COVID-19, the sector has been badly affected by tourists not coming into the province and also trying to recover after the looting that took place in July last year. And then following the looting, we had the floods where many businesses were affected and they had to shut down, unfortunately. We also saw in July, during that time where a lot of schools are closed and pupils are coming into the province for those holidays, we saw that the beaches were also closed during that time because of the high E. coli levels. So there's been a lot that has been happening in terms of the tourism sector being affected. And when we speak to businesses, they always say the same thing, that they are trying to recover and rebuild, but they need help from government. There needs to be communication and better engagement with government so that they can help them try and rebuild. While speaking to the MEC a bit earlier on about their plans, especially with the tourism sector, because the beaches have been closed, I would like to also mention that for now, eThekwini is saying that majority of the beaches in the city have been opened, but environmentalists in the city are saying that the water quality is still not good, and they are cautioning against the city reopening those beaches. And because they are a draw card for tourists, the MEC, I did ask him about this, and he says that by 1st December, they are hoping that everything will be in order and tourists will be coming into the city. While speaking to him a bit earlier on, this is what he had to say.
Already spoken about, are we going to attract tourists to come in KwaZulu-Natal beaches, the issue of eThekwini municipality working together with eNCA. We've got a team as well that is cleaning those beaches. That is regulatory framework ensuring that there are people on the ground. There is a construction that started last week, and we promise that by the end of November, because we are part of Premier a month ago, convened a team that was going to make sure that we monitor eThekwini projects that are going to be implemented and be finished on time, so that by December 1st, people can come and cruise at eThekwini, can swim at eThekwini, and enjoy all the festivities that will be here in eThekwini.
And one of the issues that has been at play in the portfolio of the MEC, Lethiwe, is this whole issue of the so-called construction mafias, right? We did see recently one company saying that they are withdrawing from the work that they had been doing around a residential project in KwaZulu-Natal simply because it has become untenable and near impossible for them to carry on. What is the MEC saying about interventions to try and push back against the construction mafia?
Well, the MEC did shy away from actually answering that question, fully actually answering it, because we've seen a lot of businesses saying that they are under threats by these construction mafias in the city. But he is saying that some businesses actually, when they are near liquidation or if they're facing any financial problems, they do come back and say there are construction mafias or people that are threatening them to leave those spaces or who are pushing their way into their businesses, saying that sometimes businesses need to caution against using government or using those construction mafias as a way to try and get funding from government. He is also saying that for those people that have been threatened by these so-called construction mafias, they are going to be working closely with law enforcement to make sure that they are not affected. I did post the question that on the N2 near Amanzimtoti, that road was washed away by the floods in April, and there were allegations that a construction mafia did stop that project that is currently underway. We also heard from the portfolio in Parliament that's actually looking into the floods damage. They did say that they're not happy with the pace that construction is going, because they would have thought that by now the road would have been finished. And they also heard some of the people that are working in that construction saying that there were people who were threatening them, so they had to down tools for a while. So there is that threat of construction mafias and those bodies that come and threaten businesses in the province. We also heard of a business that is shutting down their doors because of that. But the MEC is saying that sometimes businesses do use these construction mafias or these allegations against government, trying to push them into having funds or funding their businesses when they are near liquidation. But he is saying that if there are businesses that are facing this, they will be dealing with them, and he is saying that investors should not be threatened by this. While speaking to him a bit earlier on about this is what he had to say.
There is this perception that has been created. I think our posture is that in KwaZulu-Natal, the investment wing, the future of investors is very safe. I think there is a capability of a state. Take the N3, for instance, is under construction. The N2 is under construction. If you landed at the airport, there is currently construction taking place. There are different hospitals in township, in rural areas. There is a lot of human settlements projects that are currently underway. They are not being disturbed. Yesterday, fortunately, we went to Wamashu, where the issue of a perhaps construction mafia took place. The buildings are finished, are done. So I think it's a matter of, let us be detailed with this matter. Let us go there so that we know. I'm saying that as we speak, you might find one company that is maybe undergoing the issue of liquidity. Then they will blame the processes. There are processes of us engaging business forum, and we've got a very healthy relationship, and we are working close with South African police services that whenever there are criminal activities that are taking place, please arrest those people and just ensure that you make sure at the end, you make sure that processes is being known even into the public platform. So I think that's where we are. It's a perception rather than the reality. There are a lot of, in fact, currently, Usandral is going to announce 3 major projects, probably worth 12 billions, that will be taking place in KwaZulu-Natal. We are giving you a guarantee. They're not going to be disturbed. We are here to protect that.
That's the KwaZulu-Natal Economic Development and Tourism MEC Siboniso Duma, ending that reporting there by eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli.